quit. I should tell somebody. Good to go.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Monday, October 2025, 7 p.m. Bear,
Here.
Briggs,
Here.
Coulter,
Here.
Heidrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Patke,
Here.
Pepsel, Solentrup. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated September 22nd, 2025? Bear,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Heidrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Patke.
Yes.
Need a motion, guys.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter. To approve, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Before we start tonight, you guys, I think it's appropriate that we have a moment of silence for Tom Holmeyer, friend and long-time planning and zoning member and chairman. Let's take a few seconds. Thank you.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have a change order number 1 and final payment request for Highway 100 Turn Lanes Project. Change order number 1 and final payment request for Oldenburg Industrial Park Project. And final payment request, City of Washington EDA Grant Administration.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further questions or discussion, guys?
I'm sorry, who made the second?
Briggs.
You or Mike?
We're the same
Was it-
time, whichever.
Doesn't matter. Your choice.
It doesn't matter. Sounded like Briggs from this side. so.
No discussion?
Briggs talks louder.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the consent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Citizens' comments?
Folks, it's that time of the meeting when anyone who is interested in addressing the council about anything not on the agenda, please step forward. Hi.
Hello, good evening. Tyann Marsink Hammond, owner, manager of Missouri House Vacation Rentals. I manage several vacation rental properties here in the city of Washington. And I just wanted to share with you some of our latest guest reviews of each property on how much the guests enjoyed their stay here in Washington. Here in Washington. The first one is our two properties that are side by side. It's a 4-bedroom and a 3-bedroom together. They rented it together as 7 bedrooms as they had 15 adults, 5 children, and 3 dogs. They said the bee's knees worked perfectly for us. We're a multi-generational family looking for a place to gather to celebrate an engagement. We had plenty of space, the pool was a hit, and we were able to relax and enjoy being together. The location was lovely too. We enjoyed the morning, biking, running, and the farmer's market. Downtown, we have the Tam Loft right there, the corner of Jefferson and 2nd Street. And it was 2 adults who stayed, and they said it was the perfect getaway for an early anniversary. Tam Loft was the perfect place for us. All the amenities you need for a short or long stay in perfect location, walking distance to restaurants, bars, coffee shop, and gift shops. We love the balcony for coffee in the morning or to unwind in the evening. I will check here first for our next stay the next time we visit Washington. And then the third one is Emily with 4 adults, 2 kids, 1 dog, who stayed at our large home at Cedar House. It's 6 bedrooms. They said home away from home, only better. Cedar House was amazing, clean, spacious, comfortable, very well equipped, and beautiful. The location was great. We walked to the riverfront path, restaurants, bars, and shops. We were traveling with our beloved dog, and the host had provided bowls, a towel, and other pet supplies. It was a treat to have 3 full bathrooms for our group. We enjoyed the deck. The hosts were responsive and kind. They made us feel very welcome. Just wanted to share the positivity about Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Good evening, council members. This is my daughter, Anna. My name is Bill New. My family and I live in Washington in the First Ward. Thank you for serving our community. As a resident who loves the town of Washington and wants the best for the people of Washington, I want to talk to you tonight about an issue that will be getting worse in the coming months as overnight and daytime temperatures drop. During the winter, our averaged overnight low temperatures are around 24 to 28 degrees Fahrenheit. We have neighbors in our town that are experiencing homelessness and are impacted by this. A conversation with my daughter about helping someone started us on a journey of helping our unhoused, working poor, and fixed income neighbors in April of 2024. We started serving with Man and More, where we would serve this community a meal on Tuesday night in Washington and Wednesday night in Union. We also meet other needs through Man and More. I started volunteering at the Weather Relief Center during the winter of 2024. I provide that background to add context for what I'm about to talk about, or about to share. A majority of us wake up in a house with a bathroom, make some coffee, take a shower, put on our clean clothes, make some breakfast, pack a lunch, hop in a vehicle, and head off to a job. We've been blessed, worked hard, made some good decisions, and probably made a few bad decisions, right? Along the way, we've had family or a safety net to help us in the event that something happened, but I would say mostly blessed, right? When it came to homeless or unhoused people, I used to think people just needed a job, and I do agree that if someone is able to work, they should work. It's God's design for us to work, okay? So let's go through what getting a job looks like if we're unhoused. We need IDs and personal information to get a job. We may or may not have a criminal history. Let's start with we have a job. For the sake of our time together, let's just say that hurdle's been met. What does it look like to be sleeping outside or staying on the move all night? When we wake up, we find a place to go to the bathroom. We're thirsty. We need some water. We find a place to clean up. What's for breakfast? We've got to get going. We need to hide our stuff so we have a place, so we have it tonight. It's a long walk or bike ride to work, and hopefully it doesn't start raining or snowing. We work at our job. Depending on where we work, we may even earn lunch or a snack. After work, we retrieve our hidden stuff and go back to where we're staying, and the cycle starts over. We have people in our community that want to work. We have people who have had jobs and lost them. And talking with our group, one person said, I want to be able to take a shower so I can be clean for work. A person that we know started a job just last week, and he's still homeless. We've come alongside him with clothing and other support in an effort to help him be successful. If we're able to take care of shelter first, it would increase the opportunity to succeed. A Housing First model states if we can get someone into stable housing, then we can work with them on a job, mental health, recovery, and longer-term stability. We will need to have rules, structure, expectations, contracts, etc. And if that's a no-go for someone, then this may not be the right solution for them, or it may not be the right time for them. What we're looking to do is give someone a foothold to get on their feet. That was a comment from somebody in the group, right? They just want a foothold so they can move forward. I know your time is valuable. You have jobs, own businesses, have families. Respectfully, I'd encourage us to spend time getting to know people experiencing homelessness if you haven't done so already. They have names. They're someone's daughter, son, mom, or dad. Like you and I, they're made in the image of God and have value, dignity, and worth. Please meet with us after this and come check out Man and More, serve with us, and eat with us. We'd enjoy getting to know our neighbors. We currently meet on Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Peace Lutheran. The Harvest Table also meets on Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. at St. Peter's UCC here in Washington. So as a resident of Washington who loves this town, I would encourage you to begin working with the community on a solution. This issue isn't going away, and this issue needs your attention. As a community, let's come together to help love our neighbors. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else? Hi, Tim.
Good evening.
My name is Tim Warren. I represent an organization called Unity and Community, which is a coalition of individuals from area churches, social service, and medical agencies, as well as the public, looking to collaborate to address issues related to family instability, including food insecurity and housing insecurity. At any given time, 25 to 30 people live outside in the open in the city of Washington. Many of these people have ties to Washington and Franklin County, whether it's as a former resident, being born here, gone to school here, or worked here. Few of the homeless in our community are just passing through. While we all have stereotypes of what a homeless individual is, an older male, a former or current drug user, an alcoholic, or someone with a mental health issue, or someone that can't hold a job or doesn't want to work, the realities may be totally different. Many of the unhoused in Washington are female, or a male and female couple, a young adult, a senior, a veteran, or someone who's living in their vehicle. Economic or health issues often push them over the brink and result in their living on the street. Many live day to day. Others struggle to make enough money in low-paying jobs to cover basic expenses, let alone housing. Are they in the predicament as a result of their own experiences or their own choice? Some are, and some are not. I know they all have unique stories and experiences and reasons why they are where they are in their life. It's not my place, it's not our place to judge. That's God's role. It is an opportunity to help where we can, to collaborate and share resources so that we all benefit as a community. A local church stepped up a few winters ago and decided not to judge, but to help. As Christians, in doing what Jesus commanded for the poor and disenfranchised, they opened their doors to any who were cold and suffering, anyone who was hungry or needed a warm place to sleep. Volunteers, mostly of which are not members of that church, but members of this community, served as chaperones, meal servers throughout periods of inclement weather. Over 50 different individuals were sheltered, fed, and given an opportunity to be safe and relatively comfortable. This program was expanded into a weather relief center, serving unsheltered guests during both the coldest and warmest weather conditions, as well as serving 2 meals a week. Nothing is perfect. Obstacles and roadblocks are presented to the church and their mission for an unhoused by both local residents and the city. The city council, as you know, passed an ordinance specifically tailored to prohibit the church from housing any guests overnight without approval of 51% of residents within a 500-foot radius. Problem solved? Maybe not. Cold weather is only a few months away, and we have no overnight option available for the unhoused. We have a team of volunteers to chaperone the homeless on nights when weather conditions are most severe, assuming we have a place to put them. We wouldn't leave our pets outdoors in these conditions, so why wouldn't we work together to come up with a community solution for the homeless as well? The city of Washington has an opportunity to be the hero this winter. If the city so chose to provide a heated building for the existing volunteers to serve meals, to provide cots and sleeping accommodations, we'd have a viable stopgap solution for the homeless this winter. This could be a fire station, a gymnasium, a warehouse, or a motor pool building, or other heated building where we could partner with the city and serve the homeless community on those coldest and most severe nights. It's the right thing to do. It may take a vote on the council and a bit of staff time to make this work, but it can work. Please consider what you can do to make a difference. Thank you for your time.
Gentlemen, my name is John Lamping. I'm from Augusta. I own a home here on East 11th Street in Washington. And I, too, as the other two individuals involved in philanthropic work in the homeless community, I'm part of the Harvest Table group here, that if you most of you probably know of Harvest Table. If you don't, you should try to find out. It's really a wonderful community. You can tell by the passion behind our first two speakers tonight, there's so much energy around trying to care for the homeless. The homelessness is, you know, a big, big problem that we're not asking you to solve tonight. We're here tonight, this specific night, to really to send you all a warning that as a result of the vote that was referenced before, that we're without a warming center in this community for the first time ever. That, as you may know, used to be the hospital, would serve as an overnight shelter in the wintertime, and then it was Peace Lutheran that stepped up and played that role. And now we're without any place at all, and you guys know how cold it's going to get in the next 3 or 4 months. So I would ask you to pull together and to try to find a solution. There's an endless amount of volunteers, and so this is not, we're not asking for a public solution. We're quite frankly, it'd be a public philanthropic partnership. We need is a facility, the right to use the facility, and quite frankly, we'll operate probably under any terms that you would like. We'll provide the volunteers, we'll have manpower there, women power there, we'll have food, we'll help shelter these individuals, but without a place here in the city, you're gonna have 10, 15, 20 or more people on a cold night at the emergency room, you know, and or at the police station, or at the fire station. They're gonna go wherever they can try to find a place to get out of the cold, and I don't think that was what any of you want. I'm sure those businesses and the police station don't want them either, the first responders don't want them, but it's important that you find a solution, and like I said, there's so many people here that will help you implement that solution. All we're asking is for you to take the first step, find a facility, however it works. If you need to have a security there, or it has to be part of your line item decision-making, that's fine. I can appreciate this is, you know, you have to come together, and you've served in this capacity, but this is a problem, it's immediate now, and I hope you find a way to solve for this in the next meeting or two. We'll be back. We want to hear from you guys and see what you come up with. And if you have any questions for us, you know how to meet the people here before, the Harvest Table, so many different places you can go turn to. But we really do appreciate your time and attention tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
If I can ask a question, just, this is for any three of you that spoke about the homeless situation. I know you mentioned, I'm sorry, your last speaker, your name?
John Lamb.
John, thank you. There was a gap there between, I think, from 2020 when COVID hit and the hospital couldn't do it anymore. Then at that point, they did say that they would go ahead and do vouchers to go to the American Inn. And that took place probably from about 2020 to 2024, I think, or 2023. And I think at that time, if I'm correct, there was a outcry, I guess, of trying to go ahead and jumpstart that program. There was a GoFundMe page, and I think they raised over $70,000 at that time. It's my understanding, and us talking with people with Peace Lutheran and other entities that are trying to do what you guys are trying to do, was that the fact that there's not been any fundraising campaign to try to get, because I understand those funds are gone.
So we're, quite frankly, raising money for the solution is not a problem. There's so many people that are passionate about helping this community of people that raising money is not an issue on our end. Unfortunately, the American Inn is no longer interested in serving that role. That they'll provide us, they have provided us last year a limited space for us to use, but not enough to solve this problem. We need to have an open building that can house 10, that can house 20. I mean, not how, I mean, just like they sleep, you know, they're gonna sleep in sleeping bags on the floor. They just need to get out of the cold. So we're gonna go forward and continue to raise money on behalf of this community of people to solve maybe even intermediate and longer term problems. And that's fine. We're not asking you to solve that tonight. We're asking you to help us get through the winter. You know, we lost two people. Two people died last year. One in Washington and one in Union from the cold. And we have a guy that comes to Harvest Table every Saturday night, Eric, and Eric no longer has fingers due to frostbite that he experienced last year. So that was with Peace Lutheran, that was with a shelter. You know, we're just petrified of what's going to happen when we don't have anywhere for people to turn other than the emergency rooms. So if your solution is that, that's your solution. But I don't think you as a city council want that to be what Washington comes to be known for, so.
Okay, thank you. I was unaware that American Inn, the last I had heard, American Inn was still open to doing what they've done in the past. You guys are shaking your heads no. Okay. We have not had a conversation with the owner of American Inn, so.
You guys, this is not an easy issue. I'm not telling you guys anything that. Believe me, when I say we are talking about it, we are. We met today. We'll meet tomorrow. Whatever it takes. I am well aware and want no part of someone freezing to death or losing fingers or digits over the winter here. What that looks like, I don't know yet. And that, a lot of it depends on us. Thank you for coming up, guys. Any other public comments? Go ahead, Sherry.
Report of department heads. So, good evening, council. In front of you is an ordinance that was approved back in 1990, requiring the mayor to give written notice of nominations for appointments and reappointments to certain boards and commissions. Right now, the process is the mayor provides written notice 14 days prior to a council meeting, and then at that meeting, the appointment or the reappointment is considered to be voted on that evening. Staff would like to eliminate this requirement to help streamline the process and speed up how quickly appointments and reappointments can be approved. So we're just asking for your support to move forward with this change.
You're asking for no notice, or
Correct. We would just.
You still have
so-
notice, you have it in your packet.
Have it
You
in
just
your
don't
packet.
have to have a 14-day window before that.
I thought
In the
the way
past-
you said it was, you're not gonna tell us. You're just.
No,
Would
no,
be-
no,
so
no.
It would be on your packet, but I just wouldn't give you 14 days' notice. Like, for instance, on one of the, like a planning and zoning, I would usually give you guys 14 days' notice and say, hey, so-and-so is up for reappointment, or so-and-so is here. Doug would like to appoint somebody, and then here's their bio, here's their information, and if there's no comments, then it would go on the agenda 14 days after that. And so what we're asking
So we have to
for-
wait, is
I
what we're
understand.
saying.
Yeah, so instead of 2 weeks, we would like to just go ahead and put it, if there's an appointment or reappointment on the agenda, then we would just like to go ahead and put that on the agenda and not give you guys the 14 days notice. It would still be in your packet, you just wouldn't get the 2-week notice.
You guys, if I need to appoint somebody, believe me, I don't want it to be somebody out of the little box when we all operate. And I will keep you informed, not just when the packet comes out. So, hey, I'm thinking about this person, what do you think?
Hey, and just in all clarification here, I was the one that brought this up because of the fact of just, we've seen some situations where we could go ahead and get somebody into your packet, we can't approve them yet, they miss a whole month's meeting because it's just the timing of the whole matter. And I think the reason why the intent behind this was there was some, maybe not so much communication, maybe between the mayor and the council at that time, and the council wanted to see this in the wanted to see at least 14 days' notice, because they were concerned about who the mayor might be appointing to be on those boards, and it wouldn't give you enough time to go ahead and ask any questions. I will say that in the time that I've been in this position, I don't know of any one person that we've even had a discussion on of whether or not they need to be on the committee, or whether they need to be
I
appointed
can
to.
recall a couple.
Was there?
Yeah,
I'm sorry
yeah.
if I
Just
missed one.
because it's, don't know who the person is and
Oh,
want to get
okay.
more familiar with them. Not that we don't want this person.
Gotcha.
But it gives us a chance to get a little more familiar with who we're putting on. And I'm kind of a fan of it, not necessarily the 14 days, maybe, if a week's better or something else. And I'm also looking at a document that says Two Rivers Cable Commission, so we probably need to update it at a minimum here. But from my standpoint, I kind of like having a little heads up. And
7
because-
days, 7 days would be great. I mean, if that
And it
works.
still allows us to get it on in the next week. I understand what you're saying about 2 weeks, but that also means we gotta completely redraft something rather than
So
just.
without looking at this too far, I mean, this is just was in front of us tonight, so I haven't
Yeah.
even thought about this, but if it's an appointment, keep it at 14 days. If it's a reappointment, in the packet is fine with me. Does that make sense? If it's a reappointment to one of those boards, then I don't need 14 days' notice, in my opinion. If they're currently a member and they're gonna get reappointed, in the packet is sufficient to me.
Yes, yes.
It's when someone who's brand new, because my question is, who stepped down? When there's a park board appointment, who left and why? You know, that means, there's gotta be some time in there to figure out who and why. And if you're not I'm a parks liaison, but I don't know who left the Board of Public Works until we come to a meeting and find out who left. Hopefully it wasn't a death or a resignation or, you know, how that goes. I could, without thinking about it too much, I could be okay with 7 days, but I think 7 days or a week advance notice for a appointment and a reappointment in a normal packet. That's just my
I
opinion.
agree with 7 days as well.
Okay.
Same here.
And you're saying that's still,
That's enough.
okay.
That's plenty, so they're not missing, I mean, we've had situations where we can't get somebody, they're ready to go, but we haven't had the 14-day notice for you all, and so we tell them, you can go to the meeting, it's a public meeting, but you're not on the board yet.
With our meetings being first and third, 7 days, they're probably not gonna miss a meeting,
Right.
so 7 days would be acceptable to me.
There are a couple of things on here, I will tell you, I mean, like, for example, the transportation, that's not listed on here.
Right.
You've got a few other, I can't think of any other off the top of my head.
Well, I'll mention Two Rivers Cable Commission. I don't think we
Yeah.
have that
Yeah, that's
anymore.
been there.
So
That should
at the same time, we changed it to 7 days. We changed those that no longer need to be and those that need to be,
We can,
correct?
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need a motion or anything?
I think,
No, because we'll have to bring back. an
we'll just bring it,
ordinance
we'll just
anyway.
bring an ordinance back to you at the next available opportunity.
Thank you. Mayor's report.
This Thursday, you guys, is a MoDOT meeting, one of those community things like we went to in their community center several months ago. They're getting down to the nitty-gritty and planning process. And so, if you have time, I'd really think it might be worthwhile. There were, gosh, what, 80 or 100 people there the last time we went?
Yeah, that was earlier before they had the community, what do they call it, community
Advisory.
advisory group, thank you. And they met over the summer to try to give feedback to MoDOT, and now MoDOT's ready to bring that out to the general public, so.
I think they'll actually have plans.
We should have some kind of plans
Some
for you to
kind of
take a look
plan.
at. At least I will tell you that they'll probably have something for the intersection, because they did have it at the last community advisement group, or they had at least the intersections there at 50 and 47. They had some plans of what we're looking at for our portion, what I say our portion, from where it stops our city limits out to where it would intersect with the East-West Parkway roadway at a future date. And then the rest of it, it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. It all depends. You'll have to wait and see.
The time is 3:30 to 6, correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
Thursday. Also, a member of the police department spoke to us today about active shooting training, in which we're going to be part of that. So more to follow. Jim, would you like to further comment or anything?
No, I think it has been on the radar in the past, I know, from some other incidents. And I just think it'll be positive for you all to have some idea and some training on what to do, God forbid, should that happen, so.
We've talked with Casey Hill
Yes.
within our police department is going to be doing it. He will be doing it for each individual building for the buildings, but we thought it was important, scenarios like this, council meetings, we'll do it for the council, and then we'll do one just for all boards, whoever wants to go ahead and attend that, and we'll have that as a separate one as well, so.
Unfortunately, it's a good idea.
What we live in.
Exactly.
Yes, it is. That's all I have.
City Administrator's report.
The only item I do have to report is the Sales Tax Renewal Committee will be meeting this Friday from 11:30 to 1. They are They had their homework that they had to do over the last week and provide us with all of the projects that have been discussed over the summer. And they basically had to whittle it down to 25 million, which is what we anticipate we will have in revenue over an 8-year window for the capital improvement sales tax. So we've received a majority of those. I think there's a few stragglers out there we haven't had them received yet, but we will get all of those, and we'll have the results for the committee this coming Friday. So stay tuned. And then I do have one item for you in executive session.
Council comments? City Attorney's report, public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters pursuant to section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Baird?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Heidrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Packey?
Yes.
By your vote, we are now in executive session.